The Florida Comprehensive Assessment Test is the program I chose to evaluate, run by the Florida Department of Education and operated by county public school districts throughout the state of Florida. The program scope and criteria is intended to answer three questions. What is the central issue the program addresses? Who are the stakeholders? And what is the evaluation perspective? The final assessment mandated to all students registered in public schools to determine students' readiness to move to a higher grade level. The FCAT also assesses areas in mathematics, science, and reading. Students also from grades 3 to 12 are required to be tested. It is a graduation requirement after completing high school, and students and schools receiving higher scores receive increase in funding, including teacher compensation. The goals of the FCAT program is to set accountability standards for students' learning performance. The scores are utilized to make decisions of classroom instruction improvement standards and school funding, and to inform parents of their children's performance annually. The stakeholders for the program is divided into three groups. First is the County Superintendent, Barbara Jenkins. Second is the high school principal and university high school staff counselors. These are two local schools. This is a local high school in the area of Orange County, Florida. The third group is parents, students, and the local newspaper, the Orlando Sentinel. They all are interested in, parents need to know how the children are doing, students so they are more aware of the program, and the Orlando Sentinel is the one that informs the local community in the program progress. The evaluation criteria is the choice of design to evaluate the FCAT program is by combining expertise and consumer-oriented models to determine if the program is worth keeping. The use of this evaluation method by means of interviews, personal stories, and evaluating assessment reports published by the Department of Education website will help to understand the criteria and the reason behind the existence of the FCAT program. The sample strategy is encompassed of a group of 10 parents, including their children, 2 staff members from the university high school. However, there was no participation from the office of the Superintendent Jenkins or Principal Mark Armbruster, as they were unavailable at the time if they were contacted for interviews. The collection of data is where 10 interviews were conducted with parents and students, interviews with 2 university high school staff members, where 2 parents showed full support of the FCAT program, indicating that it was the only perfect solution for kids. 3 parents indicated that testing is administered under pressure, and that entire days of testing was not realistic for them to perform well. 5 students interviewed did not know why the program existed or why they were required to take the test. The use of qualitative methods through the interviews with parents and the evaluated documentation from the Florida Department of Education website and a small sample of students that participated did not demonstrate enough knowledge about the importance of testing. This was from the students that were interviewed. They did not know or even show interest in knowing why FCAT existed and why it was important to do well on tests. The school staff indicated that the planning to administer testing is going well, and that even the students, there was an increase in students' attendance and participation in the tests this year. So how we are planning to report this information to the stakeholders, such as parents and the community. My intent is to mail a report to parents' homes, publish a blog article where I indicate all the results, and also to share a copy with the local newspaper. The implications are cost of production and mailing may become too expensive, and also need a permission from the Florida Department of Education to make information public, not necessarily the specific name of students, but the information that is hosted on their site. That is, there are certain restrictions on what is published from the information that comes from their website. Also, the school superintendent Barbara Jenkins, as well as the university principal Michael Armbruster, is to have a face-to-face meeting to discuss the report personally and hand in the copy of the report. They may choose to ignore or receive recommendations, or to look further into ways to increase students' interest and participation, as they were shown that did not know enough about the program. Also, the potential ethical issues is transparency, potential business associations with the testing agency that was selected by the state of Florida, which is a textbook publishing company. And the textbook publishing company also selected their own staff to write the tests. So there is no indication that the staff were qualified or even know how to write the test. So there is no information as to who the individuals involved are. And also vendor that was contracted to write the test, they also wrote the textbooks, indicating that now the schools is engaged into purchasing the textbooks from the company that wrote them. So it is almost an interest of business partnership with them.